Well, a day after that vote in Tynwald, I'm here in the members' room with Laurence Skelly, the man who led from the front. You didn't get any more names? The 9 that were there, were the 9 that you got the votes for? Were there any surprises that you didn't get more?
I don't think there were any surprises. The vote, I would suggest, was predictable, to be quite honest. But of course, you never know till the day. Whilst the vote might have been predictable, I think the debate was more helpful, more useful, and what we did manage to do by bringing this motion forward, we've had that debate that we should have had years ago, and that is about the future of the health service.
Mr. Anderson called it brutal. I wasn't there for it all, so I don't know. Would you describe it like that?
It was emotional, it was difficult. And there was probably elements that was unpleasant, and sadly that's the only way it can be, because the minister is the department, therefore is his name, so it's obviously he will feel that as personal criticism against him. So, but as I say, we do have to respect the fact that the minister is totally responsible, and that's what we went through.
The Chief Minister said to me last week that they were going to vote on block, so by that stage it was all over, wasn't it?
It was. As I say, I think you can put too much emphasis on the actual vote, whereas the reality was, and I think if you look back at those contributions through that debate, you'll see that there was, I think, overwhelming recognition of the problems, the issues at the Department of Health. There was talk about the culture there. So I think that's recognised now, and if nothing else, we've now got that in the open. The Chief Minister's obviously highlighted a lot of the strands of work that which he's undertaken, and I thought it was quite interesting because in my particular opening statement I made a point there of recognising where social care is, and social care has some similar demographic problems that health does, and actually applauded the Social Care Minister to bring forward what he's done to date, consultations, reviews. He's actually had a debate on the floor, and I actually made a statement there that it's a shame these two departments are not still together. We're reviewing the scope of government at the moment, and there's a big statement from Chief Minister coming up in December, and I'm delighted to hear that Chief Minister is actually going to review this fact of continuing, or rather bringing those two departments together, perhaps as a Department of Health and Wellbeing.
So things are looking better, would you say? Are you happy now that you've done this and life goes on, or will anything change?
I wouldn't describe it as happy, Paul. It's an unpleasant thing to do, but I think the issues is that difficult that we've got to surmount, and it's going to be a very difficult process to achieve, because we have a sustainable health service. We need a national debate, and what we've done with this motion, I think we've begun that. There is still a long journey to take here, and I would just encourage Chief Minister and the Council of Ministers to consider, as he stated, the restructuring of Council of Ministers, the restructuring of some of those departments to be more efficient and more effective going forward.
And for you, how does this leave you now in the terms of being on side or not on side with the government? I mean, the Chief Minister obviously clearly was not happy that you did this. No,
it's about conscience. I said that on the floor yesterday. I brought this forward as a conscience issue, and I implored members to vote with their conscience. Now, whether they did or not, they can only answer that themselves. But as I say, there was very clear recognition that we do have problems in this department, and they do need to be addressed. What I'm concerned with is we're nearly halfway through a term, and we're not dealing with the real issue of this department.
And are you yourself then still putting yourself forward for that position if it was offered? I mean, you didn't say no last time.
No, I haven't said, to be very clear, I haven't said no to any job that I'm doing, and I'm quite comfortable and pleased that what I'm doing currently, I believe I'm contributing positively. If the Chief says to me, would you do another job? I will do it. I don't have any problem at all. I signed up and I was elected to actually contribute positively to this government. I recognise we're in difficult times. I'm not going to shirk a responsibility. I'm going to step up to the plate.
And it was you that stepped up. I mean, it was a very strange press conference when I was looking at it there, because all these people signed it, but you were the only one sitting at that table. 2 other people were sitting behind who then went halfway through the meeting, Mr. Singer and Mr. Cannon. Did you not feel at the time that you were being put out there as a fall guy.
No, not at all. I mean, when I signed that letter, I knew at that particular stage that I would have to defend the reasoning behind that. So the fact that I was there alone is absolutely immaterial. 9 members voted with that particular motion. They know why they voted with it. They know why they've signed that letter. And I point back to the fact there's been a lot of issues around the health department, but it does point to the leadership, and that's why we had that motion.
Finally, how can you move this on now? I mean, you lost that vote. Yes. You've now got to work with Mr. Anderson. Clearly, unless there's a reshuffle that moves things around, who knows? But how do you move forward? Well,
once more, I would actually encourage Chief Minister to consider his reshuffle. He's mentioned he's considering his restructuring with Council of Ministers, and as part and parcel of that, I would suggest that he needs to consider very closely and examine the opportunity of creating a Department of Health and Wellbeing. I think there is tremendous opportunity and ability to take forward sustainable policies if this was to happen.